A very dangerous situation for many of you. Matter of fact, more than 100 million people are under some kind of wind alerts. It's expected to get really windy out there, potentially gusting up to 60 to 80 mile per hour winds. Those are hurricane force winds.
I hope you are all well today. We have a long winder, no pun intended. Let's go. It is December 15th, 10 a.m. We're getting right into it. That is a lot of people, my friends. 100 million people involved in this historic wind event. As you can see right here on your screen, the wind alerts have already begun. They will extend through tomorrow. And by that time, they'll be up by the Great Lakes. We're going to talk about what's going to happen before that and currently. All right, really quick, we're going to get right into this. We're looking at a convective outlook chart. This basically gives you an idea of the population that's going to be involved in this giant wind event, stretching all the way from northern Minnesota down through central Texas. Monster windstorm. And with this windstorm is going to come a tornado situation in an area where we don't really get a lot of tornadoes. Check this out. Again, just 4 days after that devastating Kentucky tornado swarm and surrounding areas, we have another rare situation in December that is going to take place today, putting Minnesota, Iowa, for the most part, in the crosshairs for these tornadoes. As I switch over to the wind chart, you can see it expands a little more, so the overall wind going on in this part of the country is going to be very significant. In fact, if you look for the gold and beige colors, you are literally looking at all the states that are within this wind warning. Over 100 million people. That is why this is a historical event. And not just the tornadoes towards the north, but more towards the south, North Texas, stretching slightly up in a northeast direction, are the fire warnings due to the wind and dry conditions. Now, I want to show you something here on this Jetstream GIF chart, and then I'm going to compare it with the COD satellite radar. And I want you to focus on this buckle right here, this U shape. This is our Jetstream, which controls and influences all the low-pressure systems we deal with, and we have one right here. So that's basically what we're dealing with, is a low-pressure system. Eventually, we're going to see this up over the Great Lakes, just like Winter Storm Atticus, and it's going to be pulling up moisture from the Gulf and the center of the country. But first, we have this giant windstorm we're going to be dealing with. And as I hit play on this, you're going to see how the momentum is swinging from west to east, with that buckle staying very, very potent. And by potent, I mean very tight-knit, very close isobars. And this is mixing with a flow coming up from the Gulf. So basically, these winds are going to start peaking right over North Texas, and then boom, we are shooting straight up towards Minnesota, Iowa, and the Great Lakes. In fact, over here on windy.com, I'll hit play, and we can watch this entire system moving through the center of the country and then getting whipped up towards the Great Lakes. I'll pause it right here. That is the big influence of the Jetstream. And if I click right here in the middle, take a look at these wind speeds. 79, I could shift it over and probably hit 80. There we go. This is no joke. This reminds me of the Derecho that we had and just talked about the other day. Back in August of 2020, this thing traveled 700 miles and caused over $1 billion in damages and lost wages as far as food, different businesses, and supplies. It was devastating. And you will see it's going to kind of settle in over the Great Lakes here. I'll hit play one more time. And this will move us through Thursday, when we have to start worrying about the next winter storm. Here is another cool graphic for you showing the progress of this through time, hitting 80-mile-an-hour gusts towards the lakes. And what's also interesting and unique about this is the fact that it's not really a thunderstorm. It's a low-pressure system of wind, more or less, until it gets up towards Iowa, Minnesota. Then we start seeing a little bit of the moisture getting pulled into it. But this thing's almost like a ghost storm or a ghost hurricane. All right, we're going to finish up here on Tropical Tidbits. So in conclusion, you're looking at the low pressure system here. The back end, the western side, has some snow as we get through the middle of the country, but just as the threshold where Texas begins and that little strip of Oklahoma will begin to move forward here, and you could see the immediate pull up of this low pressure system. Flow from the Gulf is helping that. And then as we continue, it'll settle in over the Great Lakes with a little back end of snow. This is when we'll see some of the moisture too. Northern Minnesota and Wisconsin with the wind. And then just in 2 days, we're going to be talking about a similar situation to Winter Storm Atticus and the pull-up of energy. Maybe not quite the same deal, but as we move into the 17th and 18th, which is Saturday, you're going to start to see the severe weather popping up in those all too familiar places. So as that comes, we will talk about it It is now 11:11 a.m. Make a wish. And I'll finish out the rest of this. We can see that severe weather is going to go all the way into December 18th and 19th. This is not looking fun right here by the belly button of Mimal the Elf, M-I-M-A-L. But as always, I will keep you updated on the data we get and any sort of changes that may take place. I want to thank you all for taking the time to watch this video. Shout out to Canada. Any questions or concerns, please leave down below. I'm working on another video for later on, if not tomorrow. Should be a good one, my friends. Stay safe, stay warm, and stay buckled down. It's gonna be windy. Take care. Bye-bye. Stop right there, my friends. If you have not already, click that subscribe button and don't forget to hit the bell icon. Click all and you will get all notifications from this channel. And trust me, you won't be disappointed.